picture standing in front of a kaleidoscope. Each shift creates a vivid new pattern, yet they all exist within the same colorful tube. That's how men experience love, a spectrum of emotions shaped by different backgrounds, personalities, and histories. Some men fall fast and hard, pouring their hearts out like a torrential rainstorm. Others guard their affection, letting only a few precious drops trickle through. There's no one-size-fits-all formula, yet, especially in today's world where cultural ideals, past relationships, and personal aspirations collide. If you've ever been confused by a man's mixed signals, or wondered why one man wears his heart on his sleeve while another hides behind humor and bravado, stay right here. You're about to explore a fresh, in-depth look at how men truly fall in love, from the bad boy to the hopeless romantic, and all the unique shades in between. Men today are navigating a complex environment where traditional expectations like stoicism or the provider role clash with evolving values of emotional openness. Rather than seeing men as a single archetype, either fully bad or wholly good, it's more accurate to view them as nuanced human beings, each with a unique emotional palette. Some men wrestle with vulnerability due to cultural messages that say, "Real men don't cry." Others may have been raised in households where openness was encouraged, making them more eager to share their emotions. The key is recognizing that every man's approach to love is intertwined with these personal, cultural, and family influences. For certain men, love begins with excitement and novelty. They're the ones who might shower you with spontaneous gifts, plan extravagant date nights, or text you witty banter at all hours. Underneath that bravado, though, they can also harbor insecurities about sustaining the spark long-term. Meanwhile, others are more cautious. Perhaps they've been hurt before, or they simply prefer steady, measured connections built on daily acts of kindness rather than grand gestures. This second type often surprises you with thoughtful attention to detail, remembering your favorite drink, checking in when you're stressed, or backing you up on tough decisions. In both cases, men can fall deeply in love. The difference is in how they show it and how they protect themselves. Understanding these varied expressions of love is key to ensuring you don't misinterpret genuine care as aloofness or confuse flashy enthusiasm with authentic commitment. It's tempting to categorize men as either nice guys who love earnestly or bad boys who fear commitment. But real life is messier. Even a bad boy, someone who seems reckless or resistant to settling down, can develop profound feelings if he finds a partner who respects his independence and emotional quirks. Likewise, the so-called nice guy might be sweet and reliable, yet harbor deep-seated fears of rejection that keep him from revealing his core emotions. In other words, labels often fail to capture the real inner workings of a man's heart. Instead, try to notice how he handles conflict, shows empathy, and communicates desires. If you see a genuine willingness to grow and adapt, whether he's polished or rough around the edges, that's usually a strong indicator he's capable of deeper emotional investment. While men can indeed reach remarkable depths of affection, modern stressors can get in the way. Career ambitions, economic uncertainty, digital distractions, and the pressure to have it all can push emotional vulnerability to the back burner. A man might truly care about you, but struggle to express his feelings due to these daily life pressures. If he's juggling multiple demands, his coping mechanism might be to withdraw, briefly at first, then habitually. Recognizing this as a defensive pattern rather than a lack of love can be a game changer. By gently addressing what's behind his withdrawal, perhaps burnout, fear of financial instability, or an ingrained habit of managing problems alone, you lay groundwork for a more trusting, open bond. So why does all this matter for a woman hoping to nurture a profound connection? Because seeing the man behind the mask lets you engage with him on a more authentic level. Rather than forcing him into a stereotype, either he's just a player or he's the one, you can meet him where he really is. This awareness opens the door to conversations that respect his individuality, acknowledge your needs, and build common ground for true intimacy. We uncovered how men's emotional landscapes are shaped by everything from cultural conditioning to personal history. By recognizing these nuances, you can avoid the pitfalls of simplistic labels and begin understanding the real reasons a man might either shower you with affection or remain guarded. Now let's go deeper and explore how to bridge any lingering emotional gaps and foster a connection that resonates on a truly profound level. Men and women often speak different emotional languages, a phenomenon shaped by societal norms and individual upbringings. He may demonstrate affection through actions, like taking care of practical tasks or offering solutions to your problems, while you might crave more verbal affirmations and quality time. When these love languages don't match up, it's easy to misread signals or think he's not invested. Instead of assuming he's uninterested, try to decode how he prefers to show care. Maybe he quietly checks your tire pressure before a road trip, or cooks dinner unprompted because he knows you're tired. These understated acts can be potent love signals. If you're longing for more direct emotional expression, communicate that clearly. Let him know you value hearing his thoughts and feelings, but also show appreciation for the ways he already shows love. This open dialogue about emotional translation fosters mutual respect and helps each of you feel genuinely seen. Not all men who appear distant are players or commitment phobes. Some are simply weighed down by emotional baggage they've never unpacked. Past heartbreak, challenging family dynamics, or career-related stress can make him cautious, slow to open up, or easily overwhelmed by intense emotions. This doesn't always mean he isn't capable of deep love. It might just mean he's stuck in old patterns of self-protection. So, how do you distinguish emotional baggage from disinterest? Notice whether he's willing to engage in candid, if sometimes uncomfortable conversations about his past and future. A man carrying unresolved pain may still lean into meaningful dialogue if he trusts you. However, if he consistently avoids honest communication, downplays your feelings, or refuses to consider personal growth, those are red flags that shouldn't be overlooked. Modern life often glorifies busyness, leaving little room for genuine connection. Many men juggle demanding careers, family expectations, side hustles, and social obligations, all while trying to maintain some semblance of personal passion. In the chaos, emotional bonding can take a back seat. If he's prioritizing deadlines and networking events, it may feel like you're playing second fiddle. Here's the catch. If he truly sees you as integral to his future, he'll find ways, even small, imperfect ones, to make space for you. Still, you can encourage him by offering understanding and practical suggestions to team up against life's demands. For instance, transform errands into mini adventures, or plan short, meaningful date nights that don't require hours of free time. By showing flexibility without sacrificing your own needs, you convey that you're a supportive partner who recognizes modern pressures, yet still values genuine connection. One key to deepening a man's emotional investment is tapping into a sense of shared purpose. Contrary to stereotypes, many men long to feel part of something bigger than themselves. Whether it's building a family, creating a fulfilling lifestyle, or even rallying around a philanthropic cause. If he senses alignment in core values and long-term goals, he's more likely to envision a stable, meaningful relationship with you. To explore this, don't just focus on surface-level chats like, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" Instead, delve into the why behind his ambitions. Ask him about personal passions, role models, or life-changing moments that shaped his dreams. Share your own stories and motivations, highlighting where they resonate. When he feels you're genuinely interested in his inner drive and that your aspirations can harmonize, he'll view the bond as a partnership grounded in collective growth. Real love doesn't bloom in a vacuum. It survives and often thrives through adversity. If disagreements or misunderstandings arise, tackle them with openness rather than avoidance. Men who've been burned before might shut down at the first sign of conflict, fearing the relationship will devolve into never-ending drama. By calmly addressing issues, acknowledging your role while also holding him accountable, you signal that you value mature resolution over emotional outbursts. In practice, this might mean asking clarifying questions during a tense moment. "Help me understand what you're feeling here," or expressing your own emotions without blame. "I feel hurt because..." These tactics reduce defensiveness and encourage him to share his truth instead of retreating behind a wall of silence. Over time, consistent transparency transforms conflicts into opportunities for mutual understanding, reinforcing his trust in the relationship's resilience. One subtle yet powerful element of how men fall in love today involves freedom, both his and yours. Many men fear losing their identity or sense of autonomy once they're deeply committed. And similarly, many women worry about losing themselves in a relationship. Striking a balance between togetherness and individual pursuits is essential. Encourage him to keep pursuing his passions and do the same for yourself. This not only dispels the fear of getting trapped, but also ensures your shared life is enriched by each partner's individual growth. Paradoxically, this mutual respect for personal space can draw you closer. When he knows you embrace his need for a weekend fishing trip or a late-night jam session with friends, he'll appreciate the emotional freedom to be himself. In return, he'll be more inclined to fully support your own goals and hobbies, strengthening the shared foundation you're building together. Ultimately, bridging emotional gaps is about recognizing that men, regardless of their pasts or personalities, respond to genuine understanding and open communication. That doesn't mean pampering him or tiptoeing around issues. It means being attentive, honest, and consistent in how you approach his inner world. Give him space when he needs it, but remain available for heartfelt connection when he's ready. Above all, remember that your own emotional health matters just as much as his. Cultivating a healthy bond means nurturing yourself too, so that the love you offer comes from a place of strength, not sacrifice. In the grand puzzle of romance, men's hearts may sometimes appear tricky to decode, but once you learn the language and courageously meet him halfway, you'll discover how powerfully a modern man, no matter how different he may seem, can bond with a woman who truly gets him. And that, in turn, paves the path for a relationship rich in empathy, excitement, and genuine, lasting love. We've explored the intricate emotional underpinnings of modern men, from the masks they sometimes wear, to the nuances of their emotional language, to the challenges of balancing independence with genuine intimacy. Now, it's time to bring all of this together, diving into the pivotal transition from steady connection to enduring commitment. In this final section, we'll shine a light on how men go from, "I think I'm falling for her," to "I'm choosing her," and how you can foster a bond resilient enough to weather life's inevitable ups and downs. Every relationship reaches a critical juncture, a moment or series of moments when a man decides whether to nurture deeper roots or withdraw. Contrary to the myth of a single light bulb moment, men often experience this transition gradually. It may unfold through a cluster of meaningful experiences, handling a crisis together, receiving genuine support during a career setback, or discovering a profound mutual goal. When these experiences stack up, he starts to see you not as an isolated part of his life, but as a partner who complements his aspirations and challenges him to evolve. Often, it's the way you handle his vulnerabilities and the grace with which you share your own that encourages him to see the relationship as a long-term investment. Though he might not announce it in a sweeping statement, you'll notice a subtle but powerful shift in how he speaks, plans, and engages with you. A key driver in a man's final decision to commit is his sense of identity within the relationship. Even a man who's head over heels in love doesn't want to lose himself. A modern partnership flourishes when both individuals maintain personal space to explore their passions. This isn't a sign of disinterest. It's a pathway to holistic connection. When he realizes that your love encourages him to expand his horizons rather than shrink them, he can transition from cautious affection to confident dedication. Surprisingly, your own independence plays a major role here. By continuing to develop your interests, friendships, and personal goals, you help dispel the fear that commitment automatically equates to feeling tied down. Instead, it sends a signal that you want a companion to grow alongside, not someone to lean on indefinitely. For many men, that's a compelling vision of partnership, one that redefines commitment as an adventure you embark on together, rather than a cage you get stuck in. Physical attraction might spark the initial flame, but deeper forms of intimacy propel the relationship to a more meaningful level. Over time, physical closeness often becomes a conduit for emotional disclosure. A hug after a stressful day or lying awake together to discuss life's uncertainties can crystallize the feeling that your bond transcends mere affection. This is someone he can truly trust with the most unguarded parts of himself. Building and maintaining this trust doesn't happen by accident. It's a continuous process of showing up, being consistent, and offering transparency, particularly in moments when it would be easier to retreat or deflect. Men watch closely to see if you'll hold space for their unfiltered truths or if judgment will creep in. In turn, they also measure their readiness to do the same for you. When trust becomes a two-way street of empathy and understanding, love matures into a steady flame rather than a flicker threatened by every gust of doubt. A relationship without disagreements is like a story without tension, unrealistic and frankly, not very compelling. Men don't require perfection. They do, however, look for reassurance that storms can be weathered without sinking the ship. These storms might be small arguments over scheduling or more serious disagreements regarding finances or major life decisions. How you approach conflict speaks volumes. Are you both open to hearing each other out, or does one person default to shouting or shutting down? Rather than ignoring the tension or escalating it with blame, healthy couples work through disagreements with honesty. They focus on solving the problem, not attacking the person. A man who sees you as a partner in managing conflict, someone who will stand by him even when tempers flare, receives a vivid demonstration of long-term compatibility. This solidifies his view that commitment to you is not a risk, but a shared assurance that neither of you is going through life's inevitable struggles alone. One of the clearest markers that a man is ready to fully invest is when he starts explicitly weaving you into his future. He might discuss saving for a home, planning a major trip, or relocating for a job, and how you both fit into that scenario. Even if certain details remain uncertain, the fact that he's openly strategizing about your collective roadmap signals a deep emotional shift. He no longer sees the future as a solitary path. He's including your dreams and concerns in the equation. If you share your own hopes and discover alignment, be it around lifestyle, children, personal growth, or spiritual values, this crystallizes a mutual sense of purpose. While differences can coexist, identifying shared priorities makes it easier to navigate potential detours, because each partner understands the general direction you both want to head toward. At the heart of it all, men don't just fall in love. They choose to love repeatedly, through small, everyday gestures. Once he's committed, he'll look for ways to honor that decision daily, even if it's as simple as sending a supportive text, picking up your favorite snack, or making time for meaningful conversation after a long day. This consistency might not be flashy, but it's the fuel that keeps long-term passion and emotional security alive. Keep in mind that you also have agency in this process. Watching for his consistent choices is just as important as showing him you're equally invested. Commitment, after all, is a two-sided equation. The more you both lean in, supporting, growing, and resolving differences together, the deeper that emotional anchor becomes. Ultimately, understanding how men fall in love isn't about hacking their psychology or learning tricks for manipulation. It's about respecting the distinct, multifaceted ways they experience connection. Modern men are shaped by ever-shifting cultural tides, personal ambitions, and individual emotional histories. They may take different routes, some more vulnerable, some more guarded, but their end goal is often the same: a meaningful bond with someone who truly sees them, challenges them, and walks beside them through life's uncertainty. As you absorb these insights, remember that relationships grow in the space where empathy meets honesty. By acknowledging his individuality and expressing your own needs with clarity and compassion, you establish a partnership that can thrive in the face of external pressures and personal differences alike. For him, that authentic acceptance offers an unshakable sense of belonging. And for you, it ensures that the love you receive is as genuine as the love you give, proving that two souls, however different, can indeed create a powerful, lasting union.